The Monaco Grand Prix is over, and there were a lot of winners and a lot of losers. So here is a list of the top 5 biggest winners and top 5 biggest losers of the Monaco Grand Prix. Let's start with the losers. Honorable mention Carlos Sainz, the man who literally had everything and now has literally nothing. He got driven into not once, but twice in the span of not even half a lap at the Monaco Grand Prix at the final restart, and that ended his race pretty quick. That's rough. 5. Max Verstappen. Max was great in all 3 free practices and qualified second on the grid, but when the lights went out, Max fell almost as fast as the Dutch government last year, and he was called to the pits to retire from the race before lap 2. It was truly devastating. He had serious pace all weekend, and when it mattered most, his car just gave out. Max will be back at Barcelona this week with revenge on his mind, and that always means trouble for the rest of the grid. 4. Charles Leclerc. Charles did great for the majority of the race, and he kept P3 up until the incident. The incident meaning when he crashed at the safety car restart, that ended his race. It's debatable if it was driver error or mechanical error. Did Charles brake too late? Did the brakes not work? It isn't very clear. And Charles thinks it is. He raged at the brake manufacturer that he uses and has stated on social media that he will be using the brakes that Lewis Hamilton uses for his car. Again, 2 separate brakes. They're the only things that you can change and not have the same through each driver. Charles is not going to be the same as Lewis in terms of brakes. But at least the I am stupid meme has a new track. 3. George Russell. George has been horrific the past couple of races. Poor qualifying form. Even worse race pace. And his 19-year-old teammate is dominating him in the standings. But this might have been a new low for the Brit. On lap 32, George pitted for new tires, but gained a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's pretty bad, but it got worse. On lap 62, George went to pit and serve his time penalty, but the left front tire changer put the tire on immediately instead of waiting like the rest of the pit crew and gave him a drive-through penalty, which dropped him from P4 to P14. That put George 68 points behind Kimi in first and 2 points behind Hamilton in second. Yes, that is correct. George is now in 3rd place. And George is lucky that Charles didn't finish the race, because if he did, George would be in 4th. And I would make a joke here, but I think the events yesterday might be enough damage for now. Psych! Just kidding. I haven't seen a Brit choke that hard since 1776. 2. Lando Norris. Man, Lando went from world champion to 6th in just a couple of months. Although it's not fully his fault. His car just can't stop dying on him. It was an undetermined mechanical issue last week, and another mechanical issue this week. And now Oscar has overtaken him in the standings. I don't know how McLaren made an F1 car as unreliable as their actual road cars, but they did. And they're even digging themselves into their English roots and letting the English people down. Much like the English national team every major tournament. It's coming home, it's coming home. Tell the world. I'm just kidding. It's not coming home. Y'all are getting grouped. 1. Sergio Perez. I cannot believe it. Sergio Perez almost brought a Cadillac into the points. But it wasn't meant to be. He got 10th from a Hulkenberg 10-second penalty, but was given a post-race penalty for a false start during the final restart. It was truly crushing seeing the FIA official Instagram post with the penalty, and I truly lost hope for a team that had no business being in that position in the first place. Sergio Perez might be an elite driver, but that car is still absolute garbage, and that will probably be their only chance to get a point this season. Also, who got that point after Sergio's penalty? Fernando Alonso and Aston Martin, the only other team that probably won't get another point for the rest of the season. Tough. Now, the 5 biggest winners of the Monaco Grand Prix. 5. Oscar Piastri. Oscar's had a pretty rough year so far. With the McLaren having terrible reliability, he doesn't really have much to show this season. He has pace, but it seems like every time he has a chance to show it, the car gives out. Oscar didn't look like he had much pace this weekend, qualifying 7th, but with 2 DNFs ahead of him and a penalty to Gasly and Russell later in the race, he found himself in 4th place at race's end. That moved him to P5 in the standings and just ahead of Lando Norris, but it's going to be a rough year. 4. Kimi Antonelli. Kimi has been elite the past 5 races, achieving 5 wins in a row. The kid looks unstoppable, and for the first time all season, his race starts have matched his quality and race pace. On not one, but 2 standing restarts over the course of the race, Kimi maintained first place, something he hasn't done all season. Kimi broke the record for the youngest Monaco Grand Prix winner and is showing no signs of stopping anytime soon. He also became just the 10th driver to win 5 or more consecutive races, joining names like Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, and Michael Schumacher. A positive note is the Italians, who are sad their country sucks at football, now might get to watch Kimi Antonelli and Ferrari uninterrupted for a couple of weekends. 3. Lewis Hamilton. 2 races, 2 second places for Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Ralf Schumacher has gone impressively quiet for once. Lewis from the start was controlled and calm. He served his pit lane speeding penalty during the safety car pit stops on lap 62, unlike another Brit. But Lewis was called washed last season due to no podiums or wins, and he genuinely looked discouraged, even saying, "I'm useless" at one point. But he took the new year, new me to a whole new level, and it looks like he's come into the season with new life. Plus, the Ferrari curse and the Kardashian curse cancel each other out because of PEMDAS or something, so it'll work out for him in the end. At least one Brit isn't letting their country down, because we all know the national team will over the next couple of weeks. 2. Isack Hadjar. Isack had a great race weekend, qualifying 5th and ending with a podium. Is the Red Bull second seat curse broken? Maybe. It's truly too soon to tell. He has finally put it together for a full race, and that has brought him from 12th to 8th in the standings, just behind Max Verstappen. Hadjar has the 3 Fs going for him. He's French, he's fast, and he's fearless. Plus, he has insane potential. If he can continue this form, the second seat curse may actually be broken. 1. Fernando Alonso. Fernando has made some horrible career choices over his career. McLaren in 07, Renault in 08 and 09, Ferrari from 2010 to 2014, McLaren from 15 to 19, Alpine from 21 and 22, and now Aston Martin outside of 2023. He's really had it rough team-wise, but this race was different. After starting 21st, Fernando finally had luck on his side, with 6 drivers ahead of him DNF'ing, and another having a drive-through penalty that put Alonso in 12th place on lap 73 of 78. At the end of the race, he was still 12th, but Sergio Perez in 11th got a 10-second false start penalty, and Nico Hülkenberg in 9th got a 10-second penalty for causing a collision, and Alonso got 10th place. This was a literal miracle, and just like Cadillac, this might be the only point Aston Martin score all season. Most will call it luck, but it might just be pure skill from the Spaniard. The thing about Fernando is no matter how bad the car is, he will always outperform the car. Overall, the Monaco Grand Prix was absolutely wild. There were crashes, there were mechanical failures, there were safety cars, multiple, and overall, it was just a lot of fun to watch. Although the Monaco Grand Prix has had a bad rep for being just a qualifying session deciding the race, this one was pretty good, and this showed a little bit of variability throughout the race. Well, it's on to Barcelona this week, so I'll see you next time.